Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. It is another beautiful morning here in the Florida Keys. Today we're heading out to do a little bit of spearfishing. Some of the guys are going to come out with me today. Just going to kind of have a boys' day. Get out there and spear some fish. Figured we'd bring you along. Truck is loaded. I'm heading down to the boat. I'll see you there. Alrighty, we're headed out. Got Mr. Miles up there. You've seen everyone if you've been watching the channel. This is Louie and DJ back here. You ain't been on the video since
it's
like
been a while. Like
throwback.
2-3 years.
Since he shot like what was it, like a 50-something pound cobia, or was it wahoo or cobia? What was the last one?
Wahoo was probably the last one.
All right, wahoo was the last one. I'm gonna take his word for it. But we're headed out. It's a beautiful morning. We got plenty of spear guns. We're on our way. Baby. That's what I'm talking about. As long as it's clear enough to shoot them. What a beautiful morning. We're on our first spot. Water looks so-so. Not as clear as you'd like it to be, but as long as it's clear enough to see the fish, I can manage. Not much of a plan today. We're not commercial or recreational. We're just gonna shoot stuff and see what happens. If by some chance we shoot a ton of fish, we may turn it into a commercial trip, but we're gonna go with the flow. Got the wrecking crew getting ready. I'll see you in the water. I'm getting in the water. It's looking good. Oh, I love it. The anchor line is just not even taut at all. It's just coiled up. Welcome back underwater, everybody. As always, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll talk about some of the dives, some scenarios. To keep YouTube land real, we skip around quite a bit on this day. I did probably, I don't know, between 60 and 70 dives total. But there was a lot of dead times that I had to cut out. I had way too much footage of nothing happening, so let's dive in. This is very first drop of the day. Always so exciting. That first drop tells you so much about the day. And it's just exciting being out there. If you've ever been spearfishing, you know what feeling I'm talking about. There's nothing like it. So this is our first spot. Kind of a hard bottom, rocky mixture. Not any huge structure, but it definitely isn't flat. You can see there's a lot of sea fans and some corals and a lot of bait cruising around. Looked really good. I saw a ton of life, saw everything I wanted to see, other than something to shoot. You can see the anchor line there kind of just laying limp. I talked about that earlier when I first jumped in, and what I mean by that is there's not enough wind or current to be moving the boat, which means it's going to be really nice diving. When there's no current, no surface current, or no bottom current pushing you around, your drops are really easy because you can just sit on the surface and breathe, not worry about drifting away. And it makes diving a lot easier. Ooh. It is busy. A lot of life, just didn't see anything to shoot. So this was right after my first drop. Miles was on his way down, and I saw a big school of yellowjack coming from behind him, and I dropped to try and double up because I knew he was going to get an opportunity. So he took a shot there, but by the time I got down there, they had already made their way out, and they didn't flip around. A lot of times, schooling fish like that, when you shoot one, the other ones are going to come circle around it, especially yellowjack. But they didn't do it that time. I was trying to wait to see. You can see a couple of them came back, but they just weren't having it. They knew what I was up to. But luckily, Miles got a good shot on one.
Nice one, dude. You got it? Good fish. Man, I was trying to double up, but they wouldn't stay. Skill issue.
Same spot. You can see once I get down to the bottom, there's just so much life. The spot is so healthy. Tons and tons of mangroves. On the back end of the mangrove spawn, they'll hang out for most of the summer in schools like this. But a lot of these are smaller. I'm not going to shoot them. They're borderline legal. There may have been a couple shooters in there, but just panning around, you can see the amount of life. It just looks like a thriving metropolis. Big old parrotfish. Huge parrotfish come by. It's a beautiful dive.
It's a good shot too. It's like you've done this before. Oh. I thought there was going to be way more there. I mean, other than the 50 yellow jacks. Yeah.
There's gotta be a grouper.
You would think there's a grouper there somewhere. I did all kinds of grunts and made noise and everything.
This is the next spot. Similar bottom, kind of the same story. Tons of life, not a whole lot to shoot. I saw a couple smaller red grouper. You'll see once I get down to the bottom, lots and lots of mangroves, but lots of smaller ones. Just really great looking bottom. They're just some days not a lot of fish swim by. Look at all the mangroves. So cool. It's one of the healthiest fish populations we have down here. There are, especially during the spawn, there are hundreds and hundreds of these spawns, and there will be a couple thousand fish on each spawn at least. And it was pretty wild. You'll see here in a sec. We were on the second spot, only been in the water for an hour. It was a slick ride all the way out, and out of nowhere, within 10 minutes, the weather turned from completely calm to blowing 25 knots.
What you shooting? Oh, my dog! Where you found that?
Over there, next to a rock.
You got it with a weed whacker? What the heck happened up here? It is amazing how it just pops up out of nowhere.
Went from oil slick to 22s.
5 minutes. Get him all floppy in there. Nice one. Gonna try and run around this thing. They got nasty. Look at all the rain right here. Hold on. Hold on. Goodness.
So we ran down a bit, trying to get away from the weather. It didn't make a difference. It was windy everywhere. And we did a few dives on this spot. This spot was a little deeper. The bottom was about 75. It was a little murky. I did a few drops, wasn't seeing much, and I turn around and I hear Louie hooting and hollering, and he landed him an AP, which was pretty neat.
You said there was 2?
Yeah, so
Nice. Was it right here?
right,
Right in the front of the boat?
on the bottom, pretty much.
Good work, man.
That's been dirty though.
Yeah, it's a little spooky down there.
I was sitting there like right off the top of the reef, looking nice stuff, but they just came up this side.
No way. I don't know why this spot holds them for some reason.
So after, like I said, I did a few drops. Louis shot that fish. DJ actually saw another school, like 5 of them. We decided to hang around for a little bit longer and give it a few more drops. It was murky enough that you wouldn't be able to spot fish from the surface. For some reason, this is just a reef spot. For some reason, I see AP here a lot. I don't know why. I don't know what causes them to be there. If you are a free diver or a spearfisherman or woman, you know AP aren't just everywhere. They're kind of a rare fish. But for some reason, they love this spot. And I was doing my drop, and in the corner of my eye, I saw these come in, and they got me for a split second. But these are actually Jack Crevalle. Totally different fish, do not taste the same. But they have distance, and when you first see them, they have a similar shape. And of course, they came in, checked me out, and got me excited there for just a second. But I ended up doing, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 more drops. I'm kind of off the edge here. You didn't really see the rocks and the ledges, but I did at least 4 or 5 more drops, and they never came back in.
Well, it's a good thing I brought friends. We'd have no fish in the boat. Nice AP. They got nasty. The weatherman got us today. 16-inch mutton snapper. What you got, bro?
Playing mermaid.
Monster mutton. Perfect eater.
You playing mermaid over there? A fish sandwich.
Fish sandwich. It is noon, and I haven't shot a single fish yet. Some days you're just not very good. I was headed to another spot, and I ran over that. You bet believe we gonna check it. The red is the bottom. The hard red line is the bottom, but we've got a bunch of life and thick fuzz there. Those are all fish or bait. Gonna give it a look.
As you can see, the weather calmed back down. Welcome to Florida. They say if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's amazing how much it changes sometimes. But we moved out, ran down a little bit. The water cleaned up quite a bit. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't believe that these were the same days. It was all the same day, but such different conditions. And I had done a few drops. The roll off here is like 75-ish. And there was this black grouper that I was chasing. You see him there at the top of the screen, just briefly if you pay attention. But he was just in and out, in and out. He would, like, it knew exactly what it was doing. Anytime I got within 20 or 30 feet of it, it would just roll off out to the deep water, 85 plus 90 feet. And just wasn't having it. And this yellowjack was down there cruising around, so I decided I was going to take a shot. And just barely missed the stone shot by an inch or so. And the fish acted docile at first, but I know enough about jacks that it's probably going to turn on later. So normally I'd swim down there and try to grab the fish, but at that depth, I wanted to get my gun in my hands, get to the reel. That way if it decided it was going to run, I'd be ready. A lot of times jack will act like they got stoned, and then like right near the surface, they just go nuts.
Oh, I saw that nurse shark.
There's literally a black sitting right there, but he knows exactly what he's doing. I've seen him 3 times. It dropped down to like 75 and he goes and like leans off into 85. I'm not feeling 85 right now. Would you believe it? I shot a fish. It is 1:20 in the afternoon. Sometimes it's just not your day. But a great yellowjack. I'll take those. Always a treat to shoot, and they are delicious. Can't say no to a yellowjack. Oh, a sad cooler.
Skip forward a few spots. We started feeling pretty good, so we actually hit some deeper stuff. This is closer to 80 feet. And you'll see me zoom in. Nice big black grouper swims right in that big head. And a lot of times they'll come and poke their nose back out, so I kind of hover. I'm sitting there waiting. At this depth, I really am not in the mood to fight a fish at 80, 85 feet inside of a rock. So I paused and waited and was seeing if it was going to poke out. A lot of times they'll be curious and they'll poke just their face out and you can get a shot, but it didn't end up doing it. And skip a couple more spots, you see another black there. I zoomed in just briefly. Same thing. It was weird. Not a lot of times I'll see them completely rock up. A lot of times they'll run down the reef and zoom in and out of rocks, but this day it seemed like the only fish I was seeing, they were all rocking up. So it went in this head. Same thing. This is about 75 feet. And same thing. I'm waiting to see if it's going to poke its head out. And it just didn't do it. And it's funny because like you dive so much, you get used to certain things happening. And this day is like everything I've experienced changed and it wasn't what the norm is. That's why I always say there's exceptions to everything. I don't care what it is. There's always exceptions to everything. So I went back down. You'll see here, poked my head in that hole and a little plume of dust. And that was the grouper's face. He turned around and dusted me. And I never got a shot at it. It was just deep enough and that hole was just tight enough. I wanted no part in it. If I could get a shot of it, sticking its head out or something, it'd be easier. But wrestling that fish out of a cave at that depth was not really something I was wanting to do.
Alright, well, as always, I do like to keep YouTube land real. I'm having a terrible day. I've seen a few fish, just can't close the gap. Couple nice grouper, staying out in the way. I got one okay yellowjack. Bucks, I mean, for an average day, the bucks isn't bad. There's a few yellowjacks, AP, one black, a mutton. But me personally, I'm not doing so hot. So I'm gonna try and do something productive with my day. We're gonna go try and plug a few lionfish and clean up the reef a little bit. Maybe we'll eat some of those if we can find some.
We moved into the shallows. The second I jump in, I can see a grouper from the surface. And it looked like a black grouper, like visually, but its behavior was like kind of almost like a red grouper, so it threw me off for a second. So I get loaded, and I'm trying to size this thing up, deciding on what it's going to do, if it's going to go in the hole or not. Again, looking at it from the surface, the color and the shape and everything, I thought it was a black grouper. And it just kind of was sitting there, not really paying me much attention. which made me think it was a red. But I drop down, get closer, and I quickly realize it's a black. So I'm trying to hide just on the edge of the rock, and it doesn't really do much. It just kind of sits there and turns a little bit and gives me a shot, and I took it and hit that stone shot that I like, and I just couldn't believe it. I spent all day diving 65 to 80 feet trying to find a grouper or just anything else really, and I shoot into 30 feet of water, and very first spot we check has a really nice 27, 28 inch black grouper on it. Sometimes, and I've learned this before, sometimes you just you overshoot them, you go too far, too deep.
Don't call it a comeback. Y'all just had to take me to the kiddie pool. I'm getting old, man. I'm back, baby. 30 feet of water. Oh, there's 3 tremendo lionfish.
During that grouper dive, I did see a ton of big lionfish. And as a lot of you probably know, they are invasive, so we do like to shoot them when we can, especially the big ones. I like to eat them. They're great to eat. And you can see there's quite a few in here. I was trying to double up there for a second, but at the same time, I also don't want to shoot into any of the live coral. I'm trying to make sure it's dead coral or rock behind the fish when I shoot. So I'm waiting for this one to turn, and it finally turned. And it's a big old lionfish. These things are delicious. You just have to be really careful handling them. I've been stung enough times that I can tell you it is extremely, extremely painful if you get stuck by the spines.
You can leave these. You can leave them in the back. I'll deal with them. Alright. I know. That's the first one I saw, but he went back in the hole. I mean, these are good eaters. Well, not the little one, but I did my good deed for the day. I'll deal with it. Bro! Oh, that's an eater right there. Put a belly on that thing.
This is so funny. So I've been diving, 65, 80 most of the day. Come into 30, and I find a grouper. Unbelievable.
But I think I'm more pumped about these things. Look at the size of these lionfish. Absolute monsters. This was just shy of 16 inches. The belly on that thing. Unreal. If you're not familiar with lionfish, they are venomous. These spines up here are the main ones. There's one down here on the bottom that'll light you up. I trim them all because I don't really want to test the theory. But from my understanding, it's just these top ones. I've been hit twice up here, and it is not pleasant. So what I like to do, these are just some fish and snips, but I like to trim them. The one time I got stung the worst, the lionfish was in the cooler, and the person that threw it in there didn't tell me it was in the cooler, and I went in to reach for a beer, and I jammed my hand into a lionfish. So I trim them up before I put them in the cooler. And there's one tiny one right there I know that can hit you too. That little one right there. I've been hit by that one as well. There we are, just a little off the top. But we are done out here. A little slower than we were hoping for, but I still had a great time. We will see you back at the dock. Dude, it looks like a largemouth bass. And we're back. A little update on the yard. Everyone's very happy, including the mango tree. We've had a ton of new growth. A lot of leaves popping up the past couple weeks. We've had a ton of rain. So, mango tree is happy. I'm happy. Should have a pretty good fruit yield next year. We will see. But it's time to slice up some invasive species. That is a monster. So as I said before, lionfish are an invasive species from what I'm told. I feel like they've been around my entire life. Since I've been diving, I've been seeing them. I think this one was just shy, maybe right at 16 inches. The biggest one I think I've ever seen is probably, I think it was probably 18 or 19 inches is the biggest one we've ever shot. The really, really small ones, you're still supposed to kill them. There's really not much meat on them, but I mean, once they get this size, you could really pull a great fillet off of these things. And conveniently enough, you know, a lot of venomous or poisonous things you can't really eat, but conveniently enough, even though it is a venomous fish and it is invasive, they are delicious. Pretty close to a hogfish. White, flaky meat. I'd say like raw, it doesn't have a ton of flavor, but when you cook it, it tastes like fish. It flavors whatever you want to flavor it like. It's pretty white, clean meat. You'll see here once we get in here. Like I said, this is a great one. The small ones, you don't get much off of them, but you pop a couple, you feel like you did something good, and you can make a couple tacos out of it. Just like, oh, missed a rib. Just like that. Not bad, right? For an invasive, that's a really nice thick fillet too. Maybe one day we'll go out and target just lionfish and see how big a one we can find. If you guys would like to see that, let me know. Leave me a comment. I've got some really deep coral heads that I'll see like monsters on sometimes. Maybe we could spend the day trying to find just a behemoth lionfish. I have been stung by one of these. One time was really bad, one time was very minor. The minor one only lasted 30 minutes. The really bad one was 4 hours of excruciating, unreasonable pain. I feel like I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and it was extremely uncomfortable. like everything else, they do have rib bones. You can get a little bit out of there if you wanted to. I'll probably feed it to the canal snappers. It's super thin. And they have a little section of pin bones as well. But if you've watched me fillet a decent amount of fish, if you're looking at these, is there anything that jumps out at you? Anything different than other fillets that you see me, or other fish you see me clean? Is there anything that jumps out at you? There is absolutely no bloodline at all. Your bloodline would typically go kind of down where the backbone lines up. There's just none. No bloodline. I always thought that was very interesting. I mean, look at those. That's why I know you're supposed to shoot them on sight, but like I kind of wait till they get a little bigger, because typically they're pretty residential. They're gonna stay around the rock that they're on. They'll stay there. I mean, I've been back to back to spots and just I see them every single time, and you watch them grow. But I mean, that is a great fillet for an invasive species. But that's what we're gonna be cooking for dinner. And I've got something in mind. We're actually going to head over to my good friend Will's channel, Cooking with Clams, if you haven't checked him out. He is a mastermind in the kitchen. And he made something in the past that I have been craving, and he hasn't been down in a while to make it. So we're going to go over to his channel, pull the recipe off of there, and hopefully make something delicious tonight. I'll see you in the kitchen. And we're in the kitchen. So tonight we're going to make some fish and rice and beans and what's called tomatillo, I think, tomatillo salsa. As I said, we're stealing this from a very good friend of mine, Will's YouTube channel, Cooking with Clams. Of all of the amazing, wonderful, exciting, delicious things Will has made, this is very high on the list. Definitely top 5, maybe higher than that.
Oh yeah.
So it is, these things are called tomatillos. I thought they were like small tomatoes. Apparently they're very different. They're very tart and kind of citrusy and bright, but it's not a tomato. So we're gonna make a salsa. I'm gonna show you everything you need. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've got 10 tomatillos, a thing of cilantro, a yellow onion, 6 little cloves of garlic, olive oil, and salt, pepper, and I've got 2 limes. Some of this is for before, some of this is for after. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna dice some stuff up, and we are gonna mix everything together and roast it for our salsa. So garlic, I mean all this stuff can be rough chopped because it's gonna be, like I said, roasted in the oven, and we're gonna blend it. So you can see the inside of them. I've never eaten one raw. I'm not gonna, because I don't want to ruin the magic. But when you put all this stuff together, it is unreal. All right. So we're gonna save the limes for after. We want the juice to be nice and fresh. You don't want it cooked. Okay. So cilantro, we're gonna use the majority of the cilantro after. You can throw the stems in there and roast them. All this is gonna be blended, so not a huge deal. And then onion.
Feels like winter right now.
It's like really, really nice out.
Yeah. It's like kind of cool.
The temperature dropped like 1.5 degrees, and it's enough to notice. It just feels amazing outside. Pepper, some salt. Got some scallions from the garden, and we're gonna throw some fresh scallions in after we roast it.
Hold on, do you want to do avocado oil on that?
What is this?
That's avocado oil.
Yeah, avocado's fine. Just get everybody nice and coated there. And we are gonna throw this in the oven. I got it at 375. I'm just gonna watch it. You just want everything to be cooked down and soften up a little bit. I think the term William used was fork tender. Essentially, you just want it to soften up and be able to blend it. There we are. I did 25 minutes. We're gonna do Will's fork tender test. Oh yeah. Maybe too tender. Probably could have got away with 20 minutes.
How long did you do?
25. So we're gonna let those cool before we put them in the blender. We let that cool down enough. We're gonna add all of this into the blender. One important thing that I did forget was the heat. If you like spice, you can add one really hot jalapeno or serrano. If you like really, really spicy, add more. I had one, I put some in here, and I'm gonna throw some in there raw just so we get the heat from it. But typically one good pepper will make the whole batch spicy enough. So we're gonna throw in some fresh scallion, just a little bit of fresh cilantro, fresh lime juice. I'm gonna do 2 whole limes. So that's what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like.
When did you try something that wasn't good? Make it up.
Okay, it's pretty banging.
I was gonna say, how can you
This
mess up?
sauce, this salsa, I don't know what you call it.
Oh yeah.
It is so
Oh shoot.
good, it's unreal.
Ooh.
I could literally just eat it. We're not gonna do that, but we're gonna have one. You could literally just eat it with chips. But on top of stuff, it's amazing. Gonna cook our fish. Again, lionfish, white, flaky. It really is gonna take on whatever flavor you give it. So obviously the star of this show is the salsa. So I'm just gonna do salt, pepper. You could blacken this, you could do some fajita seasoning. You can kind of do it however you want. You could fry it, doesn't really matter. But because the salsa is the star of the show for this dish, in particular the lionfish, I'm just gonna do very straightforward. Salt, pepper, cast iron, oil, smoking hot. Same thing we always do. If it's good fresh fish, you really can't go wrong. Just salt and pepper. If it don't make that sound when it goes in, it ain't hot enough. So obviously that smaller piece is going to cook a lot faster, but what I like to do, let it go almost all the way on the one side. And then flip it. You see they get a little crimpy edge right there. These will take a bit longer, but I let it cook almost all the way through. You'll see it start to whiten up all the way around. And just flip it just for a minute or two on the opposite side. Look at that crunch. Baby. Do you want it on your fish?
Like partially, I think.
Like an artsy drizzle?
Well, the fish looks like it's cooked really well, so.
You don't say.
What kind of artsy drizzle is that?
Oh no, I'm not going for an artsy drizzle. You can drizzle how you like.
Drizzle.
Man, I made quite the plate, didn't I? First and foremost, I need you to try the fish. Tell me how it is. Get that little corner right there, crunchy corner. Looks like it's cooked perfectly. Am I in frame?
Whoa.
Oh, you spun a long way. You're over there.
Did you hear the crunch? Pretty good. This is so fitting. A little margarita.
Lionfish is. I hate how I do this. I have to compare it to something else. It's
You always tell me
I'm
not to
not going
compare.
to do it. No, not like in a bad way. I'm comparing like so people I can relate it to people who haven't had it. But I'll just say it's white. It's actually firm, but like in a nice way, right?
It's like hogfish, but firm.
It's kind of meaty like a hogfish, but more. Yeah, that's actually perfect. It's a meaty white, flaky fish.
Mm-hmm. Sauce is insane.
With tomato sauce.
Mm.
We were gonna do tacos, and then I was like, you know what?
Mm.
I just want to eat the salsa and fish. It's so
So
good.
simple, but delicious.
I always forget about that. I'm just gonna make tubs of it. Just eat it with chips.
So
If you've never had it, give it a try. They have tomatillos like we got it at Publix today. You just gotta look for them. They're in there somewhere. I promise you. This whole thing is supposed to be about the lionfish, but got a little carried away.
yeah, about all of it. All. Pretty rocking.
So yeah, go out there, shoot an invasive lionfish. You're gonna love it.
Lionfish really is one of my favorites.
It's such a good, clean, flaky.
Yeah.
There's no bloodline,
Yeah, that's true.
which is weird.
Why is that?
I don't know. There's got to be some science there. I don't know if I can think of another fish that doesn't have a bloodline. A plus. I can take the credit.
Go check out my buddy Will's channel, Cooking with Clams. If you enjoy cooking or the culinary arts, the guy is a wizard.
Yeah, you don't even have to like to cook. It's really just cool to watch what he does.
Yeah, he comes up with some crazy stuff. Really, really good stuff. But that is all we have. Thanks so much for coming along. New episodes every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you are around the world. That'll fluctuate, but we post them same time every week. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get to them. And that is all we have. We will see you on the next one.
Later. I thought you were going to ask me if I have anything to share. And I actually have something to share. I literally had something to share.
We're just going to wait till next week.
I'm so impatient. We'll wait. No, that's like a cliffhanger and it's really not that cool. No, I can't talk about it now. Now it's really not that cool, so never mind. That's like the first time you haven't asked me.
I did it on purpose.
I was preparing this time.
I could see in your eyes.